Now that we know what a radian is, we're going to go ahead and practice how to convert radians into degrees and degrees into radians. It's a simple formula because now we know the relationship between degrees and radians. All we have to do is kind of do a unit conversion like you've kind of seen in chemistry. So with our radians and degrees, in our last video we talked about how 180 degrees equals pi radians. Okay, and we notice with degrees we put the degree symbol, in radians because it's in pi we already know it's radians, so there's not really a unit that you put on there. You could if you got really excited and put radians every time, but most of the time if it's in terms of pi we know what you're talking about. Okay, so because of this relationship we know that 180 degrees divided by pi, that equals 1. But that proportion there, that's going to help us convert units. Or if we put pi over 180, depending on in which direction we're converting, which one of those we're going to use. So for example, here we have 315 degrees. So if I were to come in, I'm converting this to radians, so I'm going to multiply it by pi over 180 degrees. And the reason I know that it's in this setup, pi over 180, is because I need to be able to reduce the degrees. So degrees in the numerator, degrees in the denominator, those degrees now reduce out, and I have 315 pi over 180 radians. But just like any fraction, we want to make sure that this is fully reduced. Okay, so 315 and 180, 315, I believe that that's divisible by 45 7 times, and 180 is 4. So 315 degrees is equal to 7 pi over 4 radians. Okay, see what you can do with 425 degrees. See if you can practice that out. But again, we're going to multiply by pi over 180 degrees. Those degrees reduce out, and I now have 425 pi over 180. I believe that those are both divisible. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to have the calculator do some work for me here. Oh, that's not pretty at all. So 425 divisible by 5 is 85. And 180 divisible by 5, that's going to be 36. So, not really a pretty radian, but that's what we're looking at. 85 pi over 36. Okay? Now, if we're in radians and we want to convert that back to degrees, we're just going to flip and we're going to use the 180 over pi, because now we want to reduce out the radians and be in degrees. So here, instead of multiplying by pi over 180, I am going to multiply by 180 over pi. So now I can see I have the pi in the numerator, pi in the denominator. That's going to help me reduce out my radians, and it's going to leave me in degrees. So cancel out those pi's. 6 times 180, I'm going to go ahead and use my calculator here. 6 times 180, that gives me 1080 over 7. Excuse me, sorry. So this is about 154.29 degrees. Not super pretty on that one. We have a decimal, but it is what it is. Or if you want to leave it exact, 1080 degrees divided by 7. So we do the same thing here. I'm going to multiply by 180 over pi. So here those radians reduce out. 5 times 180 is 900, divisible by 4. And this one is 225 degrees. Okay, good luck with your converting.